Hello and welcome to today's session. So this session is suitable for those of you who are at least 6 to 8 weeks post-operative and you've had the okay from your healthcare team, your surgeon, to return to exercise. So everything we do should be pain and strain free. It's really okay to feel a nice deep stretch in the joints and the tissues, but not any discomfort or pain. Also using your breath as your guide, so just noticing if we're doing an exercise and you're holding your breath or your breath suddenly feels very erratic, almost as if you're going over speed bumps, it might mean you're pushing a bit too hard. So what we're looking for is for the breath to feel rhythmic and steady. So yeah, really hope you enjoy the session. We're going to start in lying. So coming to lie down comfortably on your side first and then coming onto your back. So we just gently come down through side lying. And we're going to come into a position called semi-supine to begin with. So whatever's under your head, just make sure it's supporting your head and your neck and your spine to be in alignment. So making sure that it's not pushing your head too far forward and equally not a sense that your head is falling backwards. So just finding that sense of alignment straight away here. And then we're going to have the knees bent, the feet hip width apart. And maybe you can just think of tucking your shoulder blades under, so we're opening through the front of the chest. If it feels particularly tight in the front of your chest, you might want to add more pillows or folded blankets under your shoulders on both sides. So just noticing what you need so that you can come into a relaxed posture here. And we could bring the hands onto the belly, and the elbows are just gently resting out to the side. So this is semi-supine, and just in itself is a very therapeutic posture. Okay, if your legs are feeling tired, you might want to allow the knees to fall in towards each other and support each other there. So in this position, hopefully you can feel it already, we're giving space to all the internal organs. Okay, so when we're sitting, standing, side lying, things are getting a little bit squashed. Okay, and that means that even the discs between our vertebrae are getting squished. So when we come into this position, we're giving space to the vertebral discs so they can get rehydrated, and we're also giving space to the internal organs, so the digestive system has more space to move, the lungs have more space to fully expand. So let's make the most of that lovely space by taking some deeper breaths. So we're going to inhale gently through the nose and exhale, sighing out through the mouth. In through the nose, into your hands, so you're feeling the belly rising as you breathe in, and exhaling, sighing out through the mouth. So you could almost imagine on that out breath, you can let cares and worries flow out of you. Making sound can really help that release of emotions and stress. So one more nice breath here, the diaphragmatic breath, sighing out through the mouth. And then we're going to start a little walk through the body, giving each of your joints that lovely opportunity to move through their full range today. So let's straighten the right leg out along your mat. Okay, and from here we're just going to work on the toes. Okay, so we're going to inhale, bend the toes of the right foot. And as you exhale, draw those toes back towards your head. Inhale, bending the toes. Exhale, draw those toes back. So really seeing if it's comfortable for you to close down your eyes or just come to a soft gaze. Just really feeling the movement. So you're keeping the ankle at 90 degrees and you're just moving the toes. So we could almost drop into a little bit of a movement meditation here. Inhaling as the toes bend, exhale as you draw the toes towards your face. So our toes often get stuffed into the ends of our shoes, so this is really nice just to give them that opportunity to move. And this is stretching the myofascia, which is the lovely connective tissue goes throughout the body, around all our muscles, joints and organs. So it's good to start by stretching the smaller joints and moving towards the bigger. And then releasing that exercise, and just notice, how do your right toes feel now in comparison to your left toes? And then let's change sides, so bending up your right leg and straightening your left leg. Okay, keep your right knee pointed to the ceiling. Inhale, bend the toes of the left foot. Exhale, draw those toes back towards your face. Good. Inhale, bend the toes. Exhale, draw the toes back. Keeping the ankle at 90 degrees. Inhale, bend. Exhale, drawing those toes back. Wiggling your jaw, relaxing your face. Just noticing we hold a lot of tension in the face, so just letting that be soft. If a yawn comes, that's great. That's a lovely way of knowing that our nervous system is down regulating, so coming out of that fight-flight into more of a rest and digest state. So that's where we can support our tissues to recover. Good, and then letting go of that practice on the left side. Notice the difference between your left and right now. Good. Bend that leg back up, so we're coming back to our starting position, our semi-supine here. So we've got our feet hip width apart, knees bent and pointing towards the ceiling. So hopefully now you might have a strap with you. Okay, and what we're going to do here, and you may or may not need the strap, so just noticing, we're going to straighten the right leg towards, so that your foot's pointing up towards the ceiling. And if that feels hard to hold your leg there, you might want to pop the strap behind your legs. Okay, so that could be a strap or a scarf, and your upper arms are staying against the floor, so we're not bringing any tension through the upper body. And from here, we're going to inhale, point the toes towards the ceiling, and exhale, draw the toes back towards the head. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Good. So coming into using your own breath timing, stretching our calf muscles, supporting the flow of lymphatic fluid back towards the heart, because our calf muscle is a great muscle pump for the lymphatic system. Good. And if you are using the strap, just noticing and trying not to hold too much tension in the upper body here. Good. And then gently releasing that leg back down. Good. Let's change sides. So straightening the left leg, and if that feels hard to maintain, popping the strap behind the leg again. So here we are. Inhale, pointing the toes. Exhale, draw the toes back towards the head. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Good. Knowing that when we are moving our bodies, we are increasing the flow of lymphatic fluid by 2 to 3 times. So like our heart is the pump for our blood system, and the lymphatic system doesn't have its own pump, so it really does rely on movement, gravity, our breathing. So this is so supportive for that system of the body. Good. And then gently bringing that leg back down, we can pop the strap to one side. Good. So let's just come into some nice, it's again a lymphatic exercise and getting some movement into the groin and to the armpits. So we're going to bring the legs together to connect in the midline, and we're going to bring our fingertips behind our ears and our elbows to touch in front. And we're going to inhale, open the elbows and open the knees. Exhale, close the knees, close the elbows. So just going gently towards your full range. So I really like to work slowly towards full range rather than move straight there. So just maybe working towards that with each repetition here. We're inhaling, opening, and exhale, close. So I like to think of this as butterfly arms and butterfly legs. We're really stimulating the flow of lymphatic fluid here because we're opening and closing at the groin and the armpits where we have a lot of lymph nodes. So we're changing the pressure and getting that fluid flushing through much faster. Good. And the next time the knees and the elbows connect, let's release the arms back down by the sides, taking your feet back to hip width apart. We're back in our semi-supine. Okay, so from here, let's start doing some little pedals with the legs. So we're pedaling your right leg forwards. So if you are finding any discomfort in the belly, just making maybe those circles smaller and the leg a little bit closer to you so you're not stretching it so far away. Okay, here we're getting into the knee joint, we're getting into the hip, and as you can feel when we're tucking the knee in towards the body, we're giving a little bit of a massage to the abdominal cavity. So if you have had any surgery in that area, just go gently here. And then let's reverse that pedal, so we're going in the other direction. Good. And it's nice to engage the core here, so drawing your belly button gently back towards your spine, gently pulling up on the pelvic floor, which is like stopping yourself pee mid-flow really. And that will keep your spine in alignment as we do these exercises. So let's bring that foot back down. And just when we're talking about spinal alignment, what we're wanting to do is make sure that when we're doing exercises with the body, like with the arms or the legs, we're keeping the spine in a neutral position, which means there's a little curve in the lower back. So you can pop your fingers underneath your lower back. So that's how much space you really want to have. And when we're moving the legs, so let's start that pedaling forwards, engaging your core, belly button back towards the spine, pulling up on the pelvic floor gently. You will notice that you can keep your spine in that lovely neutral position. And if you can't, it means make those circles smaller or closer to you. But engaging the core will really help. Good. And then let's stop. Let's release the core for a little bit. Let it rest, because letting it rest is as important as learning to strengthen it. And then again, engaging the core as you pedal the other way. Good. Good. Take rest whenever you need it. Never keep pushing on just because I'm doing it. They're all invitations, these exercises. So do what feels right for you today. And every day will be different. Good. Bring that leg down. Really, really nice. Let's come into some pelvic tilt. So if you have had any surgery to the abdominal area, this is really nice to just start stretching any scar tissue. Okay, so we're going to inhale and tilt the pelvis forward, so increasing that arch in the lower back. Exhale, tilt the pelvis back. Inhale, tilt forwards. Exhale, tilt back. Good. Inhale, tilt forwards. Exhale, tilt back. Good. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. Good. This is also great for flushing lymphatic fluid that can pool in the trunk back towards the heart via a lovely big duct, the thoracic duct, back to the heart where it will be drained. Good. Let's come back to neutral spine. Okay, next exercise. So we're going to do a little bit of bridging. Okay, so this is again really good for core strengthening. So we're going to push through the feet. We're going to keep a nice bit of tone in the buttocks. So I like to think of buttocks as grapes. Okay, so we want to keep our buttocks like grapes, but we don't want to overly clench and create raisins. Okay, so we're going to push through the feet, keep that firmness in the buttocks as we lift the bottom off the floor. Now it might be that you start with just a centimetre or two. Okay, and then we can work up. And then as we exhale, we're engaging the core, so belly button back towards the spine, pull up on the pelvic floor as you lower your bottom back to the floor with control. Good. Inhale, push through the feet. Exhale, engage the core as you lower vertebra by vertebra to bring your bottom back to the floor. Good. Inhale, pushing up. Exhale, engage the core to lower with control. Inhale, pushing up. Take rest whenever you need to. Exhale, lower with control. Good. Inhaling. Exhale, engage the core, lower with control. Good. And then keeping your pelvis on the floor, let's just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle the hips here. Really good. So let's come up into some upper body work now, okay? So let's take the hands by our sides. We're going to do some snow angels. So making sure you've got space, so I don't, by our sides. And we're going to just take the arms in a nice snow angel shape around us, okay? So keeping the arms connected with the floor if you can. Bringing the arms up towards overhead on the inhale. Exhale, the arms come back down by your sides. Good. Inhaling. So this is stretching through the chest, opening through the chest, opening through the armpit area. And exhaling down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And then releasing there. Let's take the hands and interlace the fingers. Interlace the opposite way that comes automatically. That's good for our brain. And we're going to keep the elbows straight. And again, we're not going straight to your full range, just coming towards it as we inhale, bring the arms up and over. So maybe doing 60%, 70% of what you know you can do initially, and then adding maybe 10% more with each repetition. Inhaling as we come up and inviting you to engage your core, to bring the arms back down. So any chance to engage the core and work that core is great. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhaling, arms up and over. Exhale, engage the core, bring the arms back down. Good, let's do 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Good. And then releasing it. Let's bring our fingertips to our shoulders and just drawing some nice circles with the elbows in one direction. And then the other, starting small, getting bigger. Good, and then release your arms by your sides. And then from here, let's just roll the head from side to side. So here we're massaging the back of the head, the back of the skull. And that again is going to support the flow of lymphatic fluid from the head and neck back down to the heart. Back to neutral, heads facing up. Let's gently roll over and we're going to come into all fours for a moment, okay? So from here, just gently coming up, we're going to take the knees hip width apart and the hands are shoulder width apart. And from here, let's just do a little bit of cat-cow. So that's inhaling and allowing the pelvis to tilt forwards. And exhale, arching the spine, belly button back towards your spine, and the head comes down between the arms. Inhaling, looking up, arching the back down. Exhaling, arching the back. So inhaling, we're imagining me like a cow smelling the daisies. And as we exhale, we're arching the spine like a hissing cat. Good. Inhaling. Exhaling. Good. And then from here, come back to neutral spine. So imagining that you've got a tray of teacups on your back. So you want to have a nice flat back here. Okay, and we're going to just do some engaging the core in this position. Okay, so we're going to inhale together. And as you exhale, draw your belly button back towards your spine, pull up on the pelvic floor, keeping the spine in the same position. Can you reach forward with your left hand? And then bring it back. Let your core be soft so your belly can hang down now. Inhale. Exhale, engage the core, belly button back to the spine, pull on the pelvic floor as we reach forward with the right hand and then bringing it back. Let the belly be soft, let the core go. Let's do the legs. Inhale. Exhale, engage your core, flat back, reaching back with your right leg, bringing it back, let the core soften, belly hang. Inhale. Exhale, engage your core, reach back with the left leg and bringing it back, and then release the core. Good. Let's just gently come up, release the wrists, so you might want to roll the wrists in one direction and then the other, and then let's come into sitting. And in sitting you might actually want to sit on a chair. We're going to do a few exercises in sitting. I like to sit on a couple of blocks, okay, to bring my hips above my knees. You might want to straddle on a bolster, so sitting like this. So just find what you need, okay, to sit comfortably with your hips higher than your knees, and you're keeping that nice curve in your lower back. So for me, posture is like the foundation. We want to start with really good biomechanical alignment, okay, so our joints are in the right position. Okay, so check, is there a nice curve in your lower back? If there's not, and your back feels rounded or flat, then you probably need more under your bottom, okay? So just find what you need. So in this position, feeling your sit bones root down into the ground, okay, into the surface underneath you. Think about lengthening through your spine now. So imagine a piece of string that's going all the way up through your spine, out through the top of your head. Your shoulders come back and down, okay, so your neck is soft and free to move. Okay, so from here we're going to do a little practice called the bird's breath, okay. So we can bring the hands together in front of your chest, shoulders draw back and down, okay. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale we're going to send the hands together forwards and our head comes between our hands. Inhale, we come to the cactus arms. Exhale, hands come together, it's like a beak in front, rounding. Inhale, we come back to our starting position, hands into a prayer position in front of the chest. Exhaling here. Good. Inhale. Exhale, bird's beak, round the spine. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, bird's beak, head down, round. Inhale, back to our starting position. Good. And exhaling there. Inhale. Exhale, hands come forward, rounding the spine. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, hands together around the spine. Inhaling, back to our starting position, and exhale to release. Good. So we have been working our core, okay, which is like that corset muscle at the front of the body that comes around in the trunk. And there's also lovely little muscles in our neck called the deep neck flexors, and these are the muscles that stop our head coming forward into a forward position, okay? And so it's a really, really important part of the body to strengthen, which we often forget to do. So to do that, we put the tongue to the roof of the mouth, our finger on our chin. I'm going to inhale together, and as you exhale, tuck the chin back and hold and breathe. And releasing off. So you're going to get that sensation of creating a double chin. It's not the most elegant of postures, I'll say it, but it doesn't matter, it really, really works. And what you should feel is that your chin's not falling down forwards and it's not coming back, it's purely moving forward. So find something at eye level ahead of you that keeps you focused and level, okay? Inhaling, tongue to the roof of the mouth, fingertip to your chin. Exhale, tuck back, holding. 3, 2, and then releasing it all. Good. That's really, really nice. So that's a lovely one to be practicing, you know, a couple of times in the day when you remember. So maybe having something that reminds you, like when you put the kettle on, or when if you're at red lights, when you're driving in the car at the traffic lights or something like that. Okay, so from here, Let's do a little bit of side stretching, so stretching through the side body. So we're going to bring the right fingertips to the floor, and then we're going to take the right ear gently to your right shoulder. So imagine like your head's the weight of a bowling ball, okay? And with your left hand, I'd like you to imagine your hand is like seaweed, your arm is like seaweed floating up, playing with the air with your fingertips as your arm comes up and over. Now, if you're feeling a lot of tightness through the left side of the body here, maybe bending the elbow, reducing that stretch, keeping it straight if you can. Good. And really trying not to collapse forwards. See if you can keep open through the front of the chest, open through the armpit. Playing with the air, so keeping that lovely movement here. Good. And then turning that top palm towards the ceiling now, keeping your ear in the same position, and we're going to slowly create a nice big arc with the hand, bringing that hand back down by your side. Good. Keeping your hand in the same, your head, in the same position. Can you bring your fingertips to your temples on your right side to gently support the head cut to come back to neutral, and then bringing the other fingers, the left side, to the temples on the left, and just circling in one direction. So we're just getting a little bit of a massage into the face here and the other way. If you're doing little circles, we hold a lot of tension in the face. Good. And then let's continue at the other side. So left fingers come to the floor, left ear to left shoulder, bowling ball heavy head, and then gently going with the arms, floating up and over, elbow bent if you're feeling a lot of tightness to the right side of the body right now. Reaching up and over, good. Playing with the air with your fingers, so keeping that lightness. Good. Turning that palm now, and big circle all the way down. And this time taking the palm of your hand to the side of your face and gently bringing the head back up. And then we're going to finish our practice by both hands on the jaw area, rubbing, kind of gently softening into the deeper tissues as we release the jaw, where we can hold so much tightness and clenching our jaw. Good. Good. And then releasing, and just coming back into that starting position, that settled state. Maybe taking a hand to our heart and a hand to a belly, and maybe closing the eyes if that's comfortable for you, or a soft gaze, and taking a moment to really send gratitude and thanks to yourself for making the effort to get on your mat today. Gifting yourself with time for movement, connection with your breath, and connection with your inner self. It all makes a huge difference.